Boy, do we have a live one today, my friends. A Hollywood filmmaker who is slamming fans for gatekeeping and protecting franchises and properties and films that they love dearly. So this is all crazy. We continue to see this happening more and more from Hollywood, where we continue to see these different individuals from those spheres who are, upset with fans for criticizing certain things that they are doing with their films. So, things like Rian Johnson making The Last Jedi and the backlash that he received over that, and then him then turning and calling those same fans that have been Star Wars fans for decades, calling them racist and sexist and everything else, and it continues on and on in these Hollywood spheres. They do not want us to criticize the garbage that they are feeding us. They want us just to sit there and take it, and we are not going to do that. We refuse to do that, which is why we continue to stand up and fight back against these Hollywood weirdos who are trying to destroy, twist, distort all of these beloved stories that we love dearly. We see that happening right now with Rings of Power, the new Lord of the Rings show from Amazon as well. So we're going to get right into this and see what David F. Sandberg, the director of Shazam, has to say. This is pretty crazy stuff. So with Shazam's blend of comedy, superhero adventure, horror elements, and family drama, plus that cameo at the end, you might think of the film's director David F. Sandberg as a good fit for a Superman movie, especially one highlighting Henry Cavill's return and a more upbeat tone. Now, I definitely have my own problems with, the Shazam movie and everything else, but, that's for a completely separate situation or discussion. Sadly, Sandberg declared he is no longer interested in readapting the Man of Steel for the next phase of DC movies. Now, the reason why is very interesting, and let me just make this perfectly clear. Some of the stuff that he says here is like, it's pretty crazy. So let's go ahead and get right into it and see what he has to say here. So basically, he was doing a Q&A, and this is a question that was asked. If you could choose one other DC hero to direct, which one? And this is what he said in response. At one point, I would have said Superman. But when there are so many different expectations and hardcore fans, you're going to piss off so many people no matter what you do. Now get this. Seeing how people react to things like The Last Jedi makes me want to stay away from things like that. Shazam was perfect in that there hadn't been that many adaptations before. There are still people who think it was done wrong, but it was on a manageable level. And the weird thing about this is that he basically makes his own point here, because he's correct. It was on a manageable level, and that's because he didn't F around with the lore of Shazam in a way that was disrespectful to the character. Now, that is based on what I know about Shazam. It seems like a lot of people who are fans of Shazam like the movie and everything else, at least in my own circles. And so I wouldn't say that I'm an expert on the character, but from what I know, it seems like people really liked Shazam for the most part. So, and that's the difference between that and something like The Last Jedi or something like the Rings of Power, where you have them completely just shitting all over the legacy and the lore and the things that we love about these stories. That is the difference. He answers his own question here. If you don't do that with a Superman film, then you probably will be okay. But if you decide to make a Superman some weird non-binary trans furry, then yes, fans are going to have a problem with that. That's the difference. So he answers his own question here, his own worry his own concerns that he would have about adapting a Superman film. Now, yeah, of course, there's always going to be people that are unhappy. That's just the natural way of things, because everyone has a different viewpoint and opinion and everything else. But there's a difference between making some people unhappy with your adaptation and making an overwhelming majority of people unhappy, as is the case with things like The Last Jedi. So he, like, it's crazy to me that that these people don't wake up to see the difference here. It's absolutely insane. Now, I don't really have any problems with David F. or yeah, like I don't have a problem with David F. Sandberg as a director or anything else. I think he did an okay job with Superman or with Shazam and everything else, and I think he would do an okay job with the Superman film. I would be open to saying what he would do with that, but anyway, with all of that being said, I think that he it's honestly, it's insulting to a certain group of fans who are basically just wanting good material, good stories based on these franchises that we love dearly. That is all we want at the end of the day. So it's sad to me that there are certain filmmakers out there who are so lost in the Hollywood bubble that they don't see the difference, the distinction between something like The Last Jedi and something like Shazam. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below. What do you think about what David F. Sandberg has to say here? Subscribe, leave a like, all that good stuff, and I'll talk to you in another video very soon. Bye.